From runway to reality, the rise, the fall, and the business lessons of Chidimma Adetshina scandal. Because that's literally what it is. Days of our lives. It starts with the lights, the crowns, the tears of joy. To the world, pageantry represents the ultimate dream of glamour, national pride, and an immediate transformation. But behind the velvet curtains lies a cutthroat industry where a single misstep can strip away a crown and a passport. No story in modern pageantry illustrates this brutal reality quite like the rise and fall of Chidimma Adetshina.
Hi guys, so a friend of mine just came back from Chile and I decided to do a quick OOTD. I'm actually running so late. We're supposed to meet at 1 and it's 2:15, so this is not good. But let me show you guys what I'm wearing. So my earrings are from Jolmer, my neck piece are from Jolmer. We got these two pieces when we went on our continental tour in the Philippines, so thank you so much Jolmer, absolutely love them. And I got this dress from Shein, super cute. And last but not least, my handbag, I got this from Miss Universe. This is my outfit of the day. Looks super cute. Hopefully I can take some pictures later.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm not just observing this world from the sidelines as an accredited analyst and insider at the Miss Universe pageantry in Mexico in 2024 and also in Bali in 2025. I've watched up close how these platforms operate. I have seen firsthand how a crown can alleviate a young woman to global heights and how easily the stage lights can fade, leaving you completely exposed. Today, we are diving deep into a true crime level documentary. We are talking about Chidimma Adetshina. How did a woman go from being crowned Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 to placing as the first runner-up on the global, I want you to hear those words again, global Miss Universe stage in Mexico in 2024, only to end up in a Cape Town courtroom facing deportation and arrest? But this isn't just a story about legal battles, it's a cautionary tale for every aspiring queen out there, because the biggest mistake a beauty queen can make is believing that the crown is the end goal. Today, we're going to look at the business of pageantry. So, if you have a daughter, a sister, a friend who wants to hold a title one day, there is nothing wrong with dreaming big. But the reality is, this is a very, very dark industry. There's some grooming that's involved, there's some naivety that's involved. So you have to be prepared and get an understanding of the business of pageantry beyond the crown. And that's why I've decided to do this full on documentary, so that if I can help another young woman not make the mistakes of Chidimma, where she finds herself homeless, almost being deported, and with no identity and no crown. Because let's face the reality, once you win that crown, it's only 12 months long. What happens after the 12 months? So like I said, today's video is a cautionary tale for every aspiring queen out there, because the biggest mistake a beauty queen can make is believing that the crown is the end goal. Today, we look at the business of pageantry, the rise and fall of Chidimma, and the blueprint of what winners actually need to build after the runway. Miss South Africa 2024, Mia Leroux. A quick stroll on her Instagram page will tell you that she has brand deals after brand deals after brand deals. She has endorsements, and also she did do charity work. And then there's also Miss Universe 2017 with a 1.8 million followers on Instagram. Just her Instagram alone is enough of a business plan. You can definitely see that there's brand deals, endorsements, and. So again, what is your business plan after the runway? Miss Botswana, Miss Universe Botswana 2024, a doctor Clearly, now here we're talking about brains and beauty and also a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous model. But I want you to take a look at her Instagram account with only 14,400 subscribers. One would be tempted to say that is a low follow account, but don't be fooled. She is an upcoming doctor, dermatologist, and imagine combining that with her Miss USA platform. This woman is going places. I don't know what her business plan is, but I can see the vision. I can see the vision. It's going to come along together. Advantages for her: she's in Botswana. She can approach the government. The government can fund ABCD dermatology, KAY. She has a lot going for her. So she might not have won Miss Universe 2024, but that is not the end of the road for her. And these are just a few examples. For example, Miss South Africa, Ukawekazi. I would have approached Gayton McKenzie and made a proposal so that I, as Miss Universe South Africa, am also flown to Mexico for the FIFA World Cup. Oh, yes, I would have done that. The key is to be creative, see opportunities, go for them, pitch them. The worst they can say is no. Business of pageantry, the basics and the reality. Let's start with that. To understand Chidimma's fall, we must first understand the machinery of modern pageantry. Pageants are no longer just beauty contests, they are highly lucrative, multi-million dollar corporate entities. When a contestant wins a major national title, they aren't just winning a sash, they are signing an employment contract, the sponsor obligations. A reigning queen is a walking billboard. She is bound by strict contracts to promote cosmetic brands, fashion houses, and corporate sponsors. The geopolitical chessboard. Pageants are a soft power diplomacy. The host countries use these telecasts to boost tourism, while delegates act as unofficial ambassadors for their nations. The trap of the crown. Many young women spend years and thousands of dollars training for the perfect walk and the perfect answer. But what happens when the 365-day reign ends? Because face it, you can't reapply in some cases, okay? Depends from pageant to pageant. So, during my time as a Miss Universe 2024 and Miss Universe 2025 official accredited media house, the ones who succeed long term are the ones who treat the pageant as a launch pad, not a retirement plan. If you don't have a business plan for after the crown, you are just a highly decorated temporary employee. And as Chidimma's story shows us, when the system decides you are no longer useful, the protection of the crown vanishes instantly. The battle of identities. Miss South Africa and the xenophobic backlash. Our story truly begins in mid 2024. Chidimma Adetshina, a 23-year-old law student born in Soweto, South Africa, enters the Miss South Africa 2024 pageant. With her striking looks and poise, she quickly emerges as a favorite. But her name, Chidimma Vanessa Onwe Adetshina, sparks a raging wildfire. Because of her Nigerian father and Mozambican mother, her very identity is weaponized in a country dealing with deep seated tensions over national identity. Social media erupts. The pressure forces the South African Department of Home Affairs to launch an investigation into her citizenship. What they uncover is a bombshell. Prima facie evidence that Chidimma's mother may have committed identity theft to secure South African status for her child when Chidimma was an infant. Forced to protect her physical safety amid relentless xenophobic attacks and legal scrutiny, Chidimma makes a heartbreaking decision. She withdraws from the Miss South Africa pageant. Then, the invitation, the pivot, and the ultimate revenge. You see, now, this is where the story takes a turn that belongs in a Hollywood movie. While South Africa shut down its doors, Nigeria saw an opportunity. I don't know if it's because it was Nigeria. I don't know. You know what they say about Nigerians? Did they scam Chidimma? I don't know, but you tell me in the comment section what you think. The organizers of the Miss Universe Nigeria reached out and invited Chidimma to participate in their pageant. It was the ultimate geopolitical pivot. And it was also perfect for likes, views, and shares. Come on. They knew exactly what they were doing when they picked Chidimma. Against all odds, Chidimma travels to Nigeria, joins the pageant, and wins the crown. The message was clear. The very woman South Africa rejected was now representing the giant of Africa on the global stage. But the story didn't end there. At the 73rd Miss Universe pageant in Mexico, Chidimma became a global phenomenon. While Miss South Africa, Mia Leroux, tragically had to withdraw from the Miss Universe competition at the 11th hour due to severe vertigo and health concerns, Chidimma soared. She placed as the first runner up globally and was crowned the first ever Miss Universe Africa and Oceania. It seemed like the ultimate triumph. She had beaten the system, or so she thought.
So I started off by brushing my teeth, and then I used a cotton pad and nail polish remover so I could remove the glue off my wig. I literally don't remember who taught me this, but this has been life-saving. Now I gotta look like Beyonce. I'm always looking like I know what I'm doing, but girl, that forehead. Then this happened. Yeah! You! Then I had to clean up, but I was really running out of time, so I had to continue installing my hair and get ready because I'm actually running so late. Doing my hair usually takes 30 to 45 minutes, but once I get to this part, I know I'm done and I'm ready to go.
Doesn't she sound adorable? Why exactly did she not acclimatize, or should I say, immerse herself into Nigeria, the Nigerian culture, make friends over there? I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. We were not there. It is for her to tell that story. Actually, you know what? She could write a book, she could write a biography, she could make a lot of money telling her story worldwide. Let's get into part three, the fall from crown to court. The high of Mexico eventually faded, and the reality of life set in. Despite her global fame, Chidimma's legal troubles back in South Africa had not disappeared. In late 2024, the South African Home Affairs officially revoked her identity documents and declared her a prohibited person. Yet, in mid 2026, Chidimma made a risky move. She returned to South Africa, allegedly crossing the border unlawfully in the midst of much and much. And then, in pure arrogance, the liver, the gallbladder, then posts to her Instagram and TikTok that she is in Cape Town. Not only Cape Town, she tags the location and it's the restaurant. I guess it's at the V&A waterfront. But let me just tell you, the comment section was wilding. We do, of course, have your celebrities, your faves, who were jumping in to support her during these difficult times. They are saying Abahambe, and she is coming in the opposite direction through Mozambique, it is alleged. On June 9, 2026, the glamour of the runway was replaced by the stark, sterile walls of the Cape Town Regional Court. Arrested in the Summer Greens area, she stood before a judge accused of being an illegal foreigner. Released only on a warning, she now faces an active deportation battle. Let me read to you some of these comments. In my opinion, I have no idea why she's responding. It's not going to look good for brands, for advertisers. And this is the sign that she has no plan than to be her worst advocate in the comment section. These are people who are never going to sponsor you. They're never going to ride with you. They're never going to engage with you positively. So why are you responding? Chidimma, let it go. But let me read some of them. You're so beautiful, Chichi. God stands with you. Another comment says, she's gorgeous. You're so pretty. Umhle down, sissy. Yes, I love you very much. Another one says, they can't make me hate you. And then another one says, you're so beautiful. Enjoy your stay and ignore these xenophobic bullies. Another one says, I miss you. She responds, I miss you. Another one says, oh, hambanini. And then another one says, oksalayo. And then there's so many comments. You can just scroll past, pause, and read some of them. Watching this unfold in 2026 is devastating. To go from representing the continent to facing deportation in the country you grew up in is a tragic fall from grace. But as a pageant community, we have to look past the drama. We have to look at the structural lessons of this tragedy. Chidimma had the ultimate platform in late 2024. She had the eyes of the world on her. But because her foundation, her legal status, and her post-pageant business plan was unstable, the platform collapsed beneath her. The blueprint: life after the runway. What beauty queens really need to learn: the runway is temporary. A crown is only yours for 12 months. If you do not have a business plan the day you are crowned, you're already behind. Here is what aspiring beauty queens and reigning title holders must learn from the rise and fall of Chidimma. 1. Auditing your foundation. Before you step onto a stage, ensure your legal, financial, and personal affairs are flawless. A high-profile crown brings high-profile scrutiny. Don't believe me? Ask Chidimma and the Twitter warriors. Building a personal brand, not just a pageant brand. Do not let the pageant organization own your voice. Build your own media channels, podcasts, and digital assets while you have the spotlight. I believe she missed this opportunity. I do remember she started her own YouTube channel and she only posted one video and never posted again, which was very, very missed opportunity on her part. The pivot strategy. Chidimma proved that pivoting is possible when one door closes, but your pivot must be sustainable. You cannot rely on a temporary hype. You must build a legal, structured business empire. And that, I believe, was her mistake when she accepted the invitation from the Nigerian organizers. I have no visibility to whatever contract she signed or whatever, demands she made. Did she know that she could also set her own terms and conditions? Did she think of her future, or she just thought, I'm going to make South Africa pay. I'm going to make South Africa know my name. And that was it. And that was it. As I observed during both pageants, Mexico and Bali, the girls who thrive long term are those who treat their national director as a business partner, not a boss. They negotiate their contracts, they retain their intellectual property, and they use their prize money to invest in long term assets, not just designer clothes. Chidimma Adetshina's story is one of the most polarizing, dramatic, and heartbreaking sagas in the history of African pageantry. It shows the incredible heights of human resilience, but also the cold, unforgiving reality of legal systems and political battlegrounds. As her deportation hearing continues to unfold here in South Africa, we can only hope for a fair and just resolution for her and her family. But to all the young women out there chasing the crown, remember that the runway is just the beginning. Secure your foundation, build your business, and never let the temporary glitter of a crown blind you to the realities of the real world. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive documentary. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is the ultimate lesson of Chidimma's journey? If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, share this video. Until next time, keep it unfiltered. Bye. Yes, the return, Baba.